you can hear me, we were able to do the task that was assigned to us last week. Mr. Abiola, did you do the task that was assigned to us last week? If you are speaking, I can't hear any of you guys.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, I said yes, I did the task. I had issue with my it's connecting to the that's why.
Okay, cool. So, how was it?
It was um it was okay, but there was a challenge that I had, which was the file, the last PDF, like the student record.
Oh,
Mostly like the results part was my system was not reading it as a CSV file.
why was that? So, what did you do to solve that problem?
So opened it, I downloaded and opened it in Excel. And because when I downloaded it, download as an XLS file. So
Oh,
I
okay. You
opened
had
it
to
on,
convert it to CSV.
yes, yes. So I received it as CSV.
Oh, okay, so cool. Mr. Kelechi, I can't call your first name. Were you able to do the task? If yes, what were the challenges you faced? And I need a response. Um, I can see somebody has joined us. So who is Sweet Makeovers? And we have Tino Ade. Any respond if you did the task that was assigned to us last week, Sunday. Hello. I'm assuming that I'm audible, so I require a response. Okay, since nobody is responding, Mr. Abiola, I think you are the only one that has responded so far. I would use you as a benchmark to continue what we are actually doing. Um, did you watch the session I sent out, the recorded session I sent out?
I watched the recorded session about the task, how to make do the task.
Oh, okay, so anyways, fine. Today we would be discussing some certain concept and um most likely implement them. So in the task that that was sent out to us last week, I don't you notice something about foreign key, right? So we
Yes.
did made mention of foreign key, even though we did not treat it, and that's because I was expecting that people would do their research on foreign key, if that makes sense. And so today we will discuss what a foreign key is. We already know what a primary key is. I said it's a role-based unique identifier for every table. Every table has a unique identifier or should have a unique identifier that should be able to tell that a particular entry is unique. Every data entry that you enter is unique, basically. And so a foreign key is the opposite of I wouldn't say it's the opposite. Yeah, I did. I think I made mention of foreign key as a a primary key in another table. So today I'll just be showing us what foreign keys look like. An example of what I think a foreign key is, and hopefully, if you have any questions, please ask before we continue. Do confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, I
Okay,
can see
cool.
it.
Cecilia, welcome. I okay, cool. So a foreign key basically is a primary key in another table. And let's assume that this is a group of people. Each of them has a leader. That once you see a leader, you know the group that person belongs to. And so we have about 4 groups here. Now, maybe these people want to come and form a team for a particular project or a team for a particular task. And of course, they wouldn't want everybody from each and every group to feel this, because most likely you want to do like a you want to streamline the task. You don't want things to be bulky, and so everybody would end up sending their representative to form this particular group, maybe with them having like a team lead as well. I don't know if that makes sense. And so basically, this particular team members of this new team of this new task are what they call foreign keys, and they are like basically primary keys of their own group. I don't know if that makes sense. So they are team members in a new group with a new group leader, but they are team leads in their individual groups. I don't know if that makes sense. So then they are basically, these are primary keys or team leads in a group, and they are team members in another group representing that, oh, if you see this particular person, you know that is from a particular group. And which was why I happened to um give it individual colors. And so bringing it back to um tables, um we have 3 different tables here. We have a departmental table, we have an employment table, and a project table. So this departmental table contains departmental ID and departmental name. So if one, so this departmental ID, you can see it is unique. So we have 1, 2, 3. It is not repeating. You understand? So 1 represents human resources, 2 represent finance, and 3 represent IT department. Now on the employee table, we have employee ID 101, 102, 103. We have employee name, and we have their department they are employed under. And so if I say Alice department ID 1, this 1 is referring to this 1 here, which is the primary key in this department table. And this 1 is representing what? Human resources. So instead of me to just say human resources, I could just say 1. Now this department ID that is here, that is found in department table, that represents a primary key, is a foreign key in in this new table. So I can basically represent um, department name by the department ID in another table. Um, um, I don't necessarily need to call the department name. I could just use the department ID. So this department ID that is found as a primary key in this first table is a foreign key here. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yes, sir. It makes sense. So it's like a way to look up a value. in like
Exactly. So it is like when you want to do VLOOKUP, basically. I wanted to
right.
bring that, but I thought about it, but so now let's say they are running a project. Let's say they are running a project. You have like a project table. You have project ID which is unique. This 101 1001 is unique to this particular role. The same thing, so on and so forth. Um, so you then have the different project names, and this ID represents these project names. You understand? And then you then have the employees that are tasked to do this particular project. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And so the employees that are tasked to do this setting for payroll one is employee with employee ID 102. Who is 102? Bob. What department does Bob belongs to? Finance. So you can see how this particular table, you're able to link it to employee table and departmental table using just the employee ID that is a primary key in the employee table. But because it's in a different table, you are referencing to employee table, it is now a foreign key in this new table. There is a primary key in its original table. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So
Yes,
now you can then see in such a way that I can link this this project table directly to the departmental table due to the effect of foreign keys. So a foreign key basically is simply defined. Yeah, I would not say technically is a primary key, or a foreign key in a one table is a primary key in another table. Does that make sense? So
yes, it does.
I think I'm going. Sorry, you are echoing. Sorry, you are echoing.
Am I echoing?
Yes, you are echoing. But no, yes, now, echoing. But no, now, you are echoing. If you are using two devices, you are echoing. If you are using two devices, I think.
No, I'm using just one, just my phone.
Oh, that's interesting. You must have a very interesting. Loud. You must have a very loud. A very loud speaker. So if that makes sense, does this make sense? My explanation. So it is with foreign keys, like Mr. Abiodun said, you can actually use to do VLOOKUP. Okay, Cecilia said it is echoing, so I think I wasn't the only one. So it is with foreign keys, you can actually look up. For instance, I can look up which department does this employee ID belongs to. Yeah, so Power BI copied this concept from SQL. Power BI copied this concept from SQL. Yes, it did. Power BI is just some few years back. SQL has been in existence for a very long time. So, that being said, any questions? I think I'm going to share this file with you guys. Any questions? Any questions, please? If you have one, let's.
No question for me.
Okay, cool. Now, I've already implemented my the tax I gave you guys last week, which I actually did a video for it. I've implemented the foreign key and so on. Now I would repeat how to implement that foreign key again so that we understand the concept here. So I'm going to delete. So the first thing I want to do now, if I log into my SQL Workbench, I would specify the the database I want to use. I can open a new query now, and I'll just say use. I'll say RMS and a semicolon. I'll run it, and you can see that my RMS database is indicated boldly. It shows that it is the active database I'm using. So I would say drop table. I'm going to drop the agric table. So I have agric, so I'm going to drop it. I think I did this towards the last part of the recorded session I did. Now I want to create my agric table. If I go back to the emails, the result table has an ID, course ID, student, first CA, second CA, and exams, right? So maybe I'll just keep it here and bring this one here, just because I can. So I would say create table. The name of the table is agric or agriculture. Open and close bracket with a semicolon, and I'll say ID. My ID is integer. End it with a comma. Yes, do. Ask your questions. The course code is a variable character. Your hand is up. Ask your questions. Ideu Richard.
Can't see your screen. Can't see the screen.
If you cannot see my screen, is maybe your network from your end, not my. I think. Please, who cannot see my
I think
screen?
it's network.
We can hear you, sir, Mr. Ideu, but I think it's your network.
Just like mine was echoing, then it was still the network.
Please, maybe
Can you share your screen? I can't see it.
we can see the screen, sir.
You should log out and log in back again.
Mr. Ideu, we can see the screen. Please log out and log in again. Nope. Okay, so I guess this is not new to us, right? You understand why I'm doing this? Yeah, so cool. Anybody that watched the session, and I'm not going to repeat myself. So just to check, yeah, I did. Yeah, I have kicked him out, so he's going to join back again. So to look at the content of my agric, I have ID, first course code. Yeah, I divided my screen, right? So I'm going to go back to a full screen very soon. But let me increase this by doing this. Yeah. So I have here my ID, which is a number, which is supposed to be primary key. The course code, student are foreign keys. The course code belongs to these are foreign keys, and a primary key in the course table. These students are foreign keys in this particular agric result table, but they are primary keys in the student table. The first CA, second CA, and exam, these are all integers. And so basically, I will just say my variable character here, I'm going to put maybe 10. The same thing, maybe I'll do 15 here, maybe. And now I want to then implement certain things. I'm going to end this with a comma, then I'll say primary key, and I'll specify what my primary key is. The last time I did primary key, I used primary key somewhere around here, but this is another way to implement it. Then for foreign, just need to say foreign key here. I will now refer to open bracket, open close. I will now refer to the column I want to use as foreign key. So I'll say course underscore code. I will now say, okay, what am I referencing to? So I'll say references. I'm referencing to my course code is found in my course table, right? So if I say select all from course, and it is semicolon, highlight and run. Oh, sorry. Now you can see my course code here. So it's in my course table. So I'm referring to so it's in my course table. So I'm referring to course. Then I also specify which of the column in the course table am I referring to. I'm referring to the course code in the course table. So basically that is this. Now I'm going to, for your sake, I would stop here. Now I have two foreign keys, but I'm going to stop here. Let's say I forgot to implement the second foreign key, and now that I've implemented it, everything works fine. Now if I come to my schema and refresh, I would see the agric. I click on it, you can see that this is highlighted, showing that then the properties integer primary key. This is course code. What course code is also highlighted but is not underlined. What does that mean? If I just click on the drop down of my table, if I go to foreign key and click on it, I'll see the foreign key name, and you can see is course code, and the target is my course in my course code, my course code column in my course table. Now I want to implement the second. Okay, I could do any of the two. I can then say, okay, let me import my table. Now that I've created my table, let me view my table and import it. So this is my table is empty. I want to then import data into my table. So I'll right click, go to table data import wizard, browse to where my file is. I think we have agric. I'll click on next. I'll use existing table because I've already created the table for it. And you can see how this is just to map the source destination to the source column to my destination column, where I'm copying from to where I am copying it to. And so everything matches. I'll click on next. I'll click on next. I can show logs to see the data that has been copied, and click on next. It tells me 30 records imported. Click on finish, and then if I then run this again, I can then see my table. Right now, the student table, I said it's a foreign key to the student column is a foreign key to my student table. That's admission number in my student table. So I'll say student. Let me run it, and you can see that it's an admission. It's a foreign key to my admission number in my student table. So how then do I implement it? Now I want to implement it using the a different technique. In the first foreign key, I implemented it while creating the table. I want to then alter my table because I forgot to create a foreign key. So I'll say alter table. What table do I want to alter? Agree. I would say add a constraint, and I'll give the name of my constraint. So I can say agree foreign key, maybe one, that's the name. Then I can then see foreign key um, what is my foreign key? My foreign key is student. I would say reference. So basically, reference is, what am I referring to? I'm referring to my student table. What in my student table? Admission number. And I think I am done. Okay, so I am supposed to put okay, bracket open, bracket close here. Just like the way I did here. So I'm now going to highlight everything. I'm going to run it. Everything is successful, and then if I go back to my schema and refresh, I can then see I have under my foreign key, I have two different foreign key names. The first one is the student column that is related to the admission number in the student table, and the second one is the course column that is related to my course code in my course table. Now, that is one. So let's say I want to view my agric table now. Maybe the so basically these are the agric to comp, which is computer science, English, and so on. These are assessment, first CA, second CA, and exams, right? And well, we have a primary key, but we have an admission number. But let's say we want to get full details. Now, if we want to get full details, we have to go to our student table and look at it, right? So basically, we want to get the full details. In this case, the first name and last name of each and every person that has all of these scores. How then do I do that? I can do like a VLOOKUP, a vertical lookup in Excel to do that if it was Excel. But in this case, because I then have a direct relationship between each of these courses and this student table through the student column, I can then do like a lookup, right? So if I want to do like a lookup in SQL, I would use what they call a join. This is it is a syntax. Basically, it's a join, and it's like you plugging a plug into a socket, basically. So you are finding what fits what, and you are plugging it. There's this adage: do not fitting a round hole with a square peg, right? There's an adage like that, an English adage. So I'm going to look for a round peg to fit it in a round hole. So basically, so what is the column that is similar to both my agric table and my this is my agric table and my student table. Admission number is directly related to the student column. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yes, it does.
Now I have now found like a central point to join them together. Basically, that is what I'm doing. So I'm going to use the join syntax. How do I implement the join syntax? I would start from I can implement a join syntax by basically I don't necessarily need to. I can start with viewing one table, right? When I view a particular table, I can then join it with another table on where the column is actually looking alike.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted.
Um, so how do I do that? I can decide to say select every column from my agric table. Then I'll give my agric an alias, a different name. I can say AG. I would say join student table, let's say S, on, or basically where, you can use where, but on is preferable, where the agric table, the student, where the student column in the agric table is equal to the admission number of the student table. And this is how I'm going to implement it. So basically this is the table, then the column. This is the table, then the column. So this is a way to refer to this particular column. And so I think I am done. I'll end it with a semicolon and run it. Now you can then see that from this place to, from the top to the last column resembles my student table, right? And from the beginning to the third to the last column, it resembles my agric table. So now we can then do some refinement. We can do some kind of refinement. Now, what do you want to see? We basically just want to see the admission number, first name, last name, as well as the first CA, second CA, and exams. What can we then do? What we are then going to do is that we are now going to start calling things. So we say admission number of our first name, comma, last name. Then we want to see first CA, second CA, then exams. The exam or exams, yeah. So I'm going to run it again, and you can then see we have something like this. Does that make sense? Now we also want to look at the total of each of them. So basically like a summation of the total of this, each student will be first CA plus second CA plus exams, right? So I can then put a comma here. I will say bracket open, I will say first underscore CA plus second underscore CA plus exam. Then I will then give it an alias, but I'm going to run it like this out of curiosity, so that you guys can see. So we can then see the total, but it is not showing total here. It is just showing, basically it is showing this this same thing that I did here. So you can as well represent this with an alias, and if you want to do that, you say as, and I'll say as what, as I will now give it a name, a column name of total. When I'm done, I'll highlight everything and run it. I can then see that we have our total instead of what this is. Now, what is our goal here? We've learned the join. We've seen how you can use foreign keys to join two tables. Our goal here is to let me see. I think I showed us an example, right? Our goal here is to, yep, let me, this is our goal. we want to be able to combine the total of each and every subject. By the time we are done, we will now do a cumulative total. We will now do an average of each student of their cumulative, an average of the scores they have combined for every course. We can do highest and we can do the lowest of their grades as well. Highest and lowest of their grades. So what is the highest of grade? What is the lowest of grade? So with the student admission number and name, that is what we want to achieve. And we are only going to do that using the help of foreign key and join. So I'm going to start implementing that now. This would be an extreme amount of headache, but it will be a very interesting headache that is worth it. Now, if you notice, what is familiar to both, what is like the familiar column to both the student table and the result tables? What is the similarity? What concerns these tables? It is that admission number is the same thing as student, so is equal to the student column. Admission number column is the same thing as the student column. So because if you view any of the courses, let's see, you have the student column, right? Does that make sense? So yeah, that is what is familiar to the student table and all of the result tables. Oh, I'm supposed to say tables. And so basically I'm going to comment this. I showed us a multiple line comment the other day. This is how we do multiple line comment. Showed you what a comment is. Now I want to start doing some magic. And this is a very, 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 very interesting magic. It's a complex one, but interesting one. Now, I'm going to start with viewing my student table. Right? That's how I'm going to start. Now, I'm going to start by giving this an alias of S, and I will now say join. I can start from any of the courses. So let's start from English, math, or do we just do it based on this particular, how this table is? We have Agric, biology, chemistry, computer science, English, geography, literature, math, physics, and technical drawing. This is like a secondary school result. Now, let me just start it by hierarchy. Agric, I'll give it an alias of AG. Right. And I'll now say on s.admission number equal ag.student. Right. And if I run it, I can then say I can then select the column I want to view. I'll say ID, admission number. I would say first name. Do I need the ID? Let me just leave it here. Last name. Now, basically what I want to do is just to see the total, right? So I'll just say first CA plus second CA plus exam. And I'll say as what total? Agriculture. I can just say agriculture. I don't need to put it, and then I am going to run it, and you can then see our table. Does this now look like it is coming to make sense? It's now looking like a proper table, like this database, right? So this is Greek and so on and so forth. So what we just did was just implement this column, this column, this and this. In fact, if you want to implement this proper as name of student, there is what we can do. We can do what they call concatenate. We know what concatenate does in Excel. You combine two different columns in one place. So I can use the concatenate. It's just concat, and it will be first name, last name. I'm going to run it like this. I'm supposed to give it an alias, but I just want you guys to see what it does. So you can see concatenate. I'll just say as alias as student name. Now you can see that both the Emily and Johnson are put in this space. So I'm going to give a space there. How do I do that? I'll just say a comma, then this is the way concatenate works, and I'll just put a single bracket to the space, and I would run it again. You can then see that there's a space there, and I have then added. So how then do I do the rest? Now this is really technical and this is extremely funny. I'm going to create another link and send it out again, so that as soon as we are done with this, I think let's see, let me see. Okay, let's see what we'll do in the next 10 minutes before I create another link. So now if I want to then add another table, what I just need to do is just to go down here and just say join. I'll say join, then let's say bio. I will now say as B. You don't need to use the as the alias. I will now say on. Now remember that our student column is, so it's basically saying join student column with join student table with agric table, and still join student table with biology table. So it's on s.admission number equal what? b.student. Now I might get an error here, I'm not sure, but I think I might get an error here. Yeah, the reason why I'm getting this error, can anybody guess why I'm getting this error? Who can guess? I'm curious. Why do you think I'm getting this error? Somebody should tell me why I'm getting this error. Hello? You can't really see the comments like this. This is interesting.
I think the IEDs, we have two IDs both in agric and biology, so it's not specified.
Okay, there's also, so we have two IDs. The IDs, so we have an ID for the agric column, and we also have an ID for the biology column. So what I'm then going to do is to say in this our column section here, I will say ag.id. So referring to the ID of the agric table. So I'm going to highlight everything and run it again. I'm still getting an error, which is the error I'm getting is also a false CA. So we have false CA that exists in both in all of, basically we have false CA existing in all of so we have our first CA, second CA exam that exists in all of our result tables. So I need to then specify what am I actually referring to. So here now, this, because this first CA is here, again this is going to be crazy long. I will say ag dot first CA, I would say ag dot second CA, and ag dot exam. So that I'm trying to say that I am referring to the first CA, second CA, and exam of the agric table. And then if I run it again, you can see I have some level of success, right? But I'm not seeing the other column that I require from um, the biology table. So what I can then do is to say, comma, I'm basically just going to copy everything here. I'll paste it here, and instead of AG, this is just going to be B, and I'll just say biology, and then oh, I don't need a comma here. I will just run it again, and we can then see our biology table. I don't know, is there a way to increase the result grid? I don't know. Let me see. Can I see it more clearly?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool.
You can
You
also, if there is, you can zoom it in.
sorry, what did you say?
If
I
they're using
don't.
a phone, they can.
Oh, okay. I wish there was a way I could actually. I think we should discuss this with them. But anyways, this is for educational purpose. So now I'm going to do that.
Hello?
Sorry, yeah, Mr.
Eh,
Lansford.
yes, I think you can just hold your trackpad. If you are using a system, hold your trackpad with your two index finger and just stretch it to the end and see if it will increase
No,
the
it is not going to.
size.
It's not going to do anything. It
Didn't it
doesn't.
do?
It doesn't do anything. But I'll find out.
Okay. Okay.
Talking about the result grid, it's not supposed to actually,
Yes. It's
but
actually
it's
very
fine.
faint.
Anyways,
The
I
outside
don't know
is
if
Sorry,
I don't
please,
know
is
if
this
this
session being
works
recorded?
for.
sorry, somebody should speak. Yeah?
I was talking about how to zoom. I don't know if it works for my SQL, but you can do shift and plus on your laptop and it will actually zoom. Just
No,
hold your shift
it
button
doesn't
and
work.
plus.
It doesn't work for. It doesn't work for. Doesn't work for.
My SQL.
SQL. Yeah, it works for Microsoft SQL Server, but it doesn't work for SQL.
It works for Postgres as well. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Mr. Lansford, what do you say?
Yes, so for anybody who is using their system, they can actually just hover the mouse on the screen that's close to what you are sharing, then they would actually see a space to actually zoom and then increase the size on their own system. I just did that and I'm seeing it a lot better.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just going to repeat the same process for chemistry and so on and so forth. I'll say comma. I'm too lazy. I'm gonna paste this. I'll just say chemistry, and I'm just going to say C here. Although I've not done the join, but yeah, I'll just one step at a time, and I'll say join chem as C with an alias. I'll now say on. Again, I'm just too lazy. I'll just copy this. I think I did mention this, that the reason why I chose data analytics is because I am lazy, inherently lazy. Like, I don't like to repeat tasks. Okay, Mr. Lancelot is laughing. I really don't like to repeat tasks, so I'm very lazy. It's the reason why I chose data analytics. So some people say it's difficult, and yeah, it's true, it's difficult, but you can imagine that I chose it because I'm lazy. Anyways, so I'm just going to rush through all of these by copying and pasting. So I would say we have computer science. Or I just say computer side like this. I would say English. I would say geography. I would paste again. I would say literature, literature, math or mathematics. Then this would be physics, and we have the last one, T, I think. Then we have TE. Just gonna do this like this, and I'll say technical drawing. For drawing, now I have to be extra careful. Also, I said okay, so from here, so this will be CS. And so this will be CS. I'm assuming everybody knows what I'm doing. This is not so this will be G, this will be L, this will be M, this would be P, and this would be T. Just make sure that you don't give aliases the same name, so you don't be in trouble. G. So we have E, we have G, we have L, M, we have N, we have P, and we have T. Now I'm then going to go to, I will just copy all of these, like I said, and easy. Basically just going to copy all of this stuff. Oh, Control Z, and copy this, or just start pasting. So I have agri, biology, chemistry, what do we have? Computer science, we said CS, no, yeah, CS. So we said CS, and we said compt, right? Oh, so we've done chemistry, we will do English, the English table as E, and we'll just change this to E. And so we'd say geography as G, geo as G, and we'd say this is G. We'll say L, literature, lit. We'll say this is L. This is math. I'll say this is M. I'll use this. This would be physics, P. Physics. This is P. The last one would be T, which is T. TE, and it said T, right? Interesting. Okay, so I think I over copied, right? And I'm going to run it. Hopefully I don't enter inside one kind of string. Ooh, it's really interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, are we getting it now? We are getting like the hang of everything. So it is coming to look somewhat like this. So basically we've implemented from here to this place, right? How then do we do total? This total. I could decide to do 3 different methods. each of them longer than the other. But I am, like I said, they are too lazy. I'm too lazy. So I could decide to copy all of these, and plus them together. That's one way to do that. So I'll just copy all of these, Control C. I would say before I continue, who can give me okay, so before I continue, right? Let us switch to a I'm creating a listing now, a meet now. I'm going to send it to the group. We should join that. It's almost time to go off. Don't give me 1 minute. Trust me. It's sending it to the group now. Should try and join. Sorry about this. I think we can just log off and come back again. Let me end this. Yes, it is recorded, sir.
Sorry, the class being recorded.
Yes, sir. It is recorded, or it is being recorded. Any other questions? Any other questions before we continue?
So I have a question, though I think it's a personal one. Taking
Oh,
the
yes.
SQL class and the Python class together, I hope it's not like one overwhelming themselves with. I hope it doesn't look like one is overwhelming themselves with so much course at a time. Or is it possible to still flow with the two?
It's possible to play with the two, although one is not related to the other. It just depends on your capacity, right? So it's not much of a problem if you can handle them. You can, then why not? If you cannot, then do one at a time. But it's not really a problem. Like me now, I have a small head, so I'll be able to do two.
Okay, thanks.
So I'm a very slow learner. Some people in this group can testify to that. I'm a slow learner, so I won't be able to do more than one at a time. Anywho, but for fast learners, they can combine them. So I would continue by saying that yeah. So what I can then do is to just remove this to this place and put plus sign. Then I'll do the same thing to between this and this, and just put a plus sign. This is an extremely long method, but I like to do the longer method. Then and I could just say next like this, and it's fine. So it's a very long method and a very confusing method at it. So, but it's still fine. I sometimes like to do the longer method so you can appreciate shorter methods. I learned a lot of things the very, very long way. Not nice, but you know, at the end of the day, so all of this now I can then say as total. So let's see what we see here as total score. So basically, I can just say everything here as what total score. Can say total then score. What is happening? This is the first time my PC is my SQL workbench is slow. Maybe I should reduce some things. This is interesting. Sometimes I have to repeat from the start from the beginning again. It's not going to be funny. Today I'm going to cry today if I would start from the beginning. My SQL workbench is not responding. Okay, that's because I have like a lot here. Yeah, so sometimes it's like that now, but like this is the first time experiencing it. And I have to reduce, so I think I have to give it more juice. Let me reduce some stuff, then give it more juice. I don't know. I think there should be a cloud version. Yeah, there is a cloud. I don't know if there is a cloud, but there should be a cloud version. I really don't care for cloud versions because my PC is fine to handle stuff, but this PC has been switched on since maybe close to a week ago, and this is very interesting. Anyways, I really don't mind implementing this again. I think I'm going to shut it down and try to see how I can revive it back up. Otherwise, I'm going to be here for a while. Okay, so I've reduced my stuff. I can no more do that. It's no more responding, so I can no longer do that, Mr. Abiola. I've reduced the. Oh, let me do it until I won't die. So my memory is. See, I say, oh my god, this is life. Oh. Let me see. I'm going to end it. I'm used to this stuff like this, right? It doesn't really bother me as such. I'm so used to it. I'm lucky it's going to come up back. Ooh, interesting. It came back. It's just I have to copy again. Oh, it came back. Interesting. So I'll just say this as total score, right? Don't tell me it is repeating the same thing again. And there's something really, 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 really wrong with my. What is wrong? I have a lot that is. Oh, I have. Wow. Look at the number of tabs I have on my Firefox. 33. I have 19. This is interesting. I think I'm just going to end this. Okay, I don't need my Outlook. Let me reduce this. I'm going to end my workbench again. And I also don't need this again. So, what am I using Chrome for again? Other than, yeah, I think I should end this. I should end this. Yep. Okay, now read some space and let me redo the same process again. Oh, interesting. You know what? I am just going to copy this stuff, and I think I should. I don't know. Again, let me try this one. Oh, I see what the issue is. I can see what the issue is, unfortunately. You know what?
What's the issue?
Yeah, I think it's this long stuff I'm writing. It's messing with my. Oh, one of the things I should tell you is I think I should tell you that is it will help to know how to um troubleshoot. It will help to know how to if you know basic um computer introduction to computer, it really helps. So I don't even know why my Microsoft Teams is even up. It's a very useless software that I don't use at the moment. Okay, so I think I'm going to use
You could use Control Shift and Escape to force some of the applications to shut down while leaving only the ones you need.
yeah, I have others that are not on this thing that I would need to let me copy it. Oh, let me see. Use RNS, run this, paste this, and let's see. Watch what happens. Total score. Yep. So you can see that this is the issue. The particular code I'm writing is the problem. So it's not responding. So I wanted to be sure that that is what is happening. So I think what I'm just going to do is to okay. So I'm going to use my command prompt because I I think I am going to yep. So I'll say show database. Okay, and it will be semicolon. I'll say use RMS. Basically going to paste everything here. And no. And it will be semicolon. Let me see if I go like this. Oh, I can't go back. It's not really nice to look at. This is not nice to look at, unfortunately. It is not like the best representation of, which is why I don't like. Anyways, it's fine. Let me see. What's the best way to do this? Okay, cool. I'm gonna paste this. I don't need this for now, but this is one way to actually implement this. I will not be using it. I will just use this, and that's because it is not. Yep. So I would launch my workbench again, and so basically the code I was writing, that was the issue. Okay, so I'm going to run this. It works. Let me run this again. I think this will work this time without that. So it's telling me that I just have to go to I should use the most effective query. Now I think there are other methods I could actually use, but I'm going to write everything in one instance. So there, I'm going to use two methods. I would use what we call a subquery. Can anybody tell me what a subquery is? There's another method called the CQ.
It's like an inner query, like it runs before the main query.
Okay, so So
Like
it
like
is
a query under
yeah,
a query.
yeah, true. That's what it is. A subquery is a query inside um another query. So basically you write a query and you write another query and one will be a child of the other. Does that make sense? Hello? Hello? Oh yeah. So let me see what kind of subqueries can I write? Okay, so let me use the select agree and I'll show you the select table from so select all the column from agree or better still I would say select from student. I would say join agree. I'm not going to use aliases now. At student dot admission number equal agree dot student. The alias, you can see what the alias dot, right? It's just to shorten the table name so I don't have to be calling the long table name again. Does that make sense? So I'm able to do this. Let me then refine my port. So I would say ID, I would say first name, last name, should I use the course code? Not really. I would say first underscore CA plus second underscore CA plus total as plus exams as total, right? Exam as total, or I say us agriculture score. Now this is one query. I can then make this query a child of another new query I want to write. Now the new query I want to write, I want to say where this agric score is. We want to see students that are more than 50, for instance. I could say, do I need to use a where clause? No, I think I can use a where clause. I can say where agriculture. I think I can use the alias agriculture underscore score is greater than 50. I don't know. I think I should. Interesting. Okay, I can't do that because it doesn't know this. Oh, so I can say okay, cool. Yeah. So I can actually make this my new table, right? I can actually make this my new table and a subquery inside whatever query or new query I want to write. So I want to make this my new table, for instance. So I could make it a subquery replacing this table name. What do I mean? I'll just copy this. This is my first query I wanted to write. I would say select all the columns from. I'll then put bracket open bracket close. I'll enter my this query that I wrote before. Then end it with. So if I'm going to make it as my new table, I have to give it a name. So I'll say as maybe it's a new table. New underscore table. Then end it with a semicolon. Then if I run it, it doesn't really make any difference, right? It's still basically saying the same thing. But now that is my new table, I can actually do whatever it is I want to do with it. And I'm going to call, so you see in this particular place here, I was unable to use the where clause. And that's because it's saying that it doesn't recognize this agric underscore score column. But now that I have made this query that I wrote before as a subquery inside my new query, this my new query, I'm just viewing the table, and I'm saying that this my old query that I wrote before is now a child of this new query, which is basically a subquery. So I can basically use a subquery as a table, right? Then I can then say, I want to check total score. So I'll say where agriculture underscore score is greater than 50, for instance, which is the total, right, for agric. So you can see that I have my agric score. I have 30 students, but now I have no, interesting, a lot of them scored way over 50, right? Let's just say 90. Oh, so I then have like a fewer number now compared to before. And if I then say, if I want to count the number, I have 30 rows, right? So if I want to then count my new number, I will just say count, and which is this an aggregation. I think did we do a aggregation before? And so I have like a total count of 14. And instead of normally a count of 30, because I have 30 students, so I'm supposed to say 30, but I'm saying give me where the total score for the first, second, and third, and the exams, which is supposed to be total score, for agric is agriculture is greater than 90, right? And we have just 14 students that fit into that criteria. So a subquery is basically a child of another query. So basically this is a child of another query. So I would actually use, in this case now, I will just copy all of this to this place. I will make it a subquery, just like I did here, just as I did this in this particular place. I'm going to say select everything. I would say from, then bracket open, bracket close. I will say as new table. I'll just say RMS table, and end it with a semicolon. I would say I'm going to place this my very long query. Then what I'm then going to do now is you see these names is what I'm then going to copy, because if I do this like this and run it, it's basically going to show me the same thing. But now what it will enable me to do is to use these names now: agriculture, biology, and so on and so forth. So I'm basically going to copy this. I have to copy it. Let me just type it. I'll just say comma. I'll say agriculture plus biology, so plus chemistry plus computer underscore science. I would say plus English plus geography plus literature, plus math plus physics plus technical drawing. Usually I would like to encapsulate all of these with bracket and bracket close. I like to, but you don't have to, but I kind of like to. And I'll now say as total score, and then I'm going to run it again. Oh, it said, oh, I didn't type computer science well. It's saying S here. Oh, sorry about that. So we can then see I didn't have my total score. Does that make sense? Which is what I have here. total score. I can then do my average of this as well. I think this average is divided by the number of this. So I could do my average of everything again by copying all of this, right? I can copy all of this. Put a comma here. This will then be my new column. So there's an aggregate function called average, that is AVG. So you can see it's already popping up. And I'm going to paste this. And all I just need to do is just to put a, instead of plus, because plus is summation, I'll just put a comma in between. I could also use the CTE, but I'm not going to use it in this particular case. Okay, I'll end this. And I'll then say as average score, sorry, in capital letter. And so let's just implement everything. So this is highest grade, right? That's the maximum of everything this person have here. So the maximum here is biology 94. Then we have the lowest grade, which is minimum. There's also an aggregate for these. I'll just copy this now. There's a syntax for this, which is what I'll say highest score, and then I'll put another comma and I'll say this is lowest score. Now I'll just come here. Basically, I'm saying the highest score, which is maximum of everything, max. Then this is mean, MIN, mean. And I think I'm done. Why is it showing me? Oh, this is gonna be a problem. This is going to be a problem. Unfortunately, oh, okay. Okay, let me see. I know why this is not going to work, but I'm curious. Why is this going to work? Anyways, let me use the average score and run it again. Yeah, this is an aggregation and it's not going to work. The reason is because I have to group it by again, which is going to be weird. Anyways, it's fine. I would not continue this. Let me do Ctrl Z. So basically, this code is not going to work because this is an aggregation. If I want to do an aggregation, I need to use a syntax called group by. Now, because I don't want to do it now, what I'm just going to do is just to put a. I'm just going to comment everything to this place here. So you can actually do a comment inside your syntax and it will work fine. You just ignore that and work fine. So it just ignores whatever it is you wrote inside your comment and work fine. So I think we're going to stop here now. In the next session, which is tomorrow, we will be talking about aggregation. So best I don't at least we talked about one. And so basically what we're doing is to do a count. We'll do things like mean value, minimum value, maximum value, the standard deviation and some other things. Highest value, minimum, maximum value, or highest value, and so on. I think that's what we'll do tomorrow, and we'll do the basics, then we'll implement it using what I wanted to do here. Any questions before I leave? I'm going to stop recording now. Any questions? Oh, Mr. Ido.
No question. There's a lot to take in.
Sorry.
I wanted to say that.
Yeah, please talk.
Continue.
Okay.
So I said thank you so much for the class, and this is a lot to take in.